Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today and welcome to Park Bench Plainfield, your local community website where we feature and share the stories of business professionals who live, work, or play in the Plainfield area. Today our guest is Andreas, and he's the owner and founder of Olympic Soccer Academy right here in Plainfield. I hope that you find his story interesting and enjoy it. Hey Andreas, thanks for joining me today and welcome to Park Bench Plainfield. It's a pleasure having you here today. And why don't we just start out by you telling us how did you get into soccer and what made you want to start the Olympic Soccer Academy?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here.
My pleasure.
Gosh, that would take days for me to explain to you. I got involved.
Give us the short version.
I'm going to give you the short version.
30 to 45 seconds is good.
So, obviously, growing up in the soccer community, what kids have here today is just amazing compared to what we had back then growing up in order to play in soccer, growing up in the Chicagoland area as well, too. So, I said to myself, if my kids liked the sport, was good enough to be able to play in a traveling team atmosphere, that I would start a soccer academy.
Okay.
And that's really what happened. Back we're going into our 9 years here. 9 years ago, really started with camps and clinics, and what I wanted to do was kind of fill the void. There was a void between recreational soccer and travel soccer. Mm-hmm. And you would see kids that have potential, but there wasn't really any camps or clinics or anything from a development perspective to be able to get some of these kids into the travel. And that's really how we started, was with camps and clinics. And help kids develop their skills, ball control, ball dribbling, passing, tactical awareness and stuff like that. And
so you're really providing like an array of services that encompasses every single level of soccer, whether it's from I just want to learn a little bit about it, or be more of a professional and achieve higher goals.
Absolutely. So basically I say soccer for all ages at all levels. Mm-hmm. So we have our Little Olympians program, which is ages 3 to 5, which we help them with fundamentals in a fun, small-sided games and stuff like that. And it's an amazing program. We have a phenomenal coach that works with our Little Olympian program. And we also have a recreational program, for those that just want to have fun, like the game, they like to run, they love the sport. But we also have our traveling team. We got our club where those kids that want to excel, they want to advance, they want to get to that high level. We provide that. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, we actually also have, which we're excited about, is our special needs program, our Olympic Superstars program. So again, when we say we have soccer for all levels and all ages, we do, and we're very excited about that for the community here.
And you've been doing it since 2011 now, right? About 8 years here, going on 9, right?
9, yep.
What have been some of the challenges that you've run into?
Challenges? I would probably say, I don't think, when you're very invested in your program, you're very invested in your kids, you're very invested in the philosophy of what we're doing here as an academy. Every business has challenges. Every business has pros and cons. I wouldn't say the challenges. I guess what I'd like to do is clone myself and clone some of the coaches that we have. But obviously, we can't. So it's really just bringing high quality people that fit into our philosophy with what we want to do, so we can expand. Mm-hmm. And in order to expand, you want to make sure we have the right people. We do have the system, we do have the philosophy, we do have all the principles that we have in place that are making us very successful. It's just bringing on, more people that buy into the philosophy of what we're doing with our kids. But as far as challenges, time, obviously, there's a lot of behind the scenes with preparations and things that, maybe the parents or players are unaware, and that's okay. They don't have to be aware. It's our role, it's our job to do what we need to do behind the scenes in order to provide that the service that we provide for our kids.
Now, you yourself have an extensive background when it comes to soccer. You used to play professionally, right? Can you tell us a little bit more about your background as a soccer player?
Yeah. Growing up in high school in the Chicago Public Schools, we won a city championship. I got recruited by a couple colleges to play for certain colleges. I decided to stay local, and after 4 years of a successful soccer program, I decided to train and go pro in Greece. And it was in 1995. I landed a contract with the First Division team.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Although I was older from when I first started, I also realized it was a short career because I had an unexpected surgery that I had to have. And so when I came back, I got married, and the rest is history. But I was able to be on a first level team in Greece, which I was very excited about. It was a dream of mine, and that's really was something that I'll never forget in the locker rooms where everything was happening. The cameras were there saying, "Oh, this kid from Chicago is here. He's going to sign a contract with this," and
right.
And I didn't like any of that stuff. Like I was really in a zone of myself, and I was like, "Wow, I did it." And I said to myself, my kids ever. If I got married and had kids, if I ever had the opportunity to give them an opportunity to have this experience, I want to. Because I never had some of the things that are being offered now to the kids from the clubs. And it was really out of passion, desire, just hard work, which is needed. But to be able to start at an earlier age with a development program, it gives kids more opportunities to be able to get to that experience.
Right.
And, so that was my career, and played semi-pro here in Chicago with a couple clubs.
Yeah.
So now it's time to give back to the kids and provide that atmosphere for the kids to be able to experience as well.
Well, I can very easily tell that you have a lot of passion for soccer. It pours out of your veins, right? But let's shift gears for a second here. Apart from soccer, you're also running a business. How is that different than, you have the passion, the drive, the love for soccer, but at the same time you have to run a business? What challenges has that presented, and how did you overcome those challenges?
Well, in any industry, running a business is another full-time job in itself. So when you have a soccer academy, you're coaching, you're working with kids. When it's a business, there's also that other side of it that is a full-time business that sometimes is not, people have a passion to do, right? But at the same time, in order for that passion for coaching, for running a program, making sure the atmosphere is correct, the culture is correct, everything that involves having a successful program, there's always that full-time commitment behind the scenes that you have to do.
What advice would you give to somebody who's either thinking about starting their own business or thinking about getting involved with soccer, or perhaps introducing their kids to soccer? What advice would you give to those people? And you answer it any which way you want.
Sure. So in order to start an own soccer business, it's interesting. A lot of people were not ridiculing me, but were concerned that I was going to start an academy here because there's a lot of other clubs out here in the area. I think within a 20-mile radius, there's 50 clubs, right? And one of the things that I started was I wasn't competing with anybody. I wanted to provide what I thought was good for a development program, and I just focused on that. I didn't focus what other clubs did. I didn't focus what other coaches were doing. I was focusing on my vision. So first and foremost, you have to have a vision.
Right.
Okay? And number one, you better fall in love with that vision, because when challenges do come, you're not going to be able to handle them. So first and foremost, have an end in mind. What does that look like? And if you're not in love in making sure that that can become a reality, you're going to have a hard time. And I think that's in any business, right? Especially when you're involving with kids and people. It's an extracurricular activity for a lot of parents who have to supply the funds for their kid. So you have to make sure that the atmosphere is conducive, to development. It's conducive for fun. It's conducive for safety. It's conducive for all the things that people will find the money to pay for that. But to start a business, you have to definitely know how to relate with people, know how to relate with kids, to be able to have a plan so that you can execute that plan. and be mentored by people that are in that field. So that way, if there's challenges that you need support and help with, that there's people who've gone through it that you can actually go to and say, hey, here's what I've done in the circumstances,
Right.
So law of association is pretty much the principle that,
Right.
I think is important. But for those who want to get involved in soccer, from a kid's perspective, I'd say, here's what I say. When people ask me, hey, Andreas, what makes you so different? We're thinking about maybe coming to your club or to your academy or to you. And I said, everyone can tell you all the right things. Here's what I say. Come and watch one of our practices, and then talk to our parents. I don't know what parents are going to say, but because I know our philosophy and I know what we do with our kids, that I'm comfortable that you can talk to any of the parents that are there, and then you'll know if this is the right place for you.
Right. Come check it out and see if it's the right fit for you.
And then I'd be more than happy to answer any questions. But you want to watch us, how we interact with the kids, what we do in our training program, and also talk with the parents and get their feedback.
Right.
Is there a one-size-fit club or academy for everyone? Absolutely not. And that's why there's competition out there.
Right.
You
got to stay true to who you are. You can't satisfy everyone out there.
You got to do the best at what you can, because there's also other factors that involve when you're dealing with kids. Different cultures, different backgrounds, different upbringings, different scenarios, different social issues, and you got to be able to take care of all of that without affecting the other kids. And that's why I give teachers credit for what they do in schools. But again, if you don't love what you do, it's going to be a hard time doing. If you love what you do, there's always ways to, adapt, change, and make it work for everyone who's there.
So a major key for success, based on your experiences, having passion for what you do, and then understanding your why and your mission and why it is that you do what you do, right?
Yes. You have to fall in love with what that vision is, and if you don't, you'll have a hard time having it long term.
What's on the horizon for Olympic Soccer Academy? What are you working on? What are some of the goals that you're working on for the next year or so?
Yeah, well, we continue to put on programs for every age level. We just got done with our Little Olympians program. We're going to have one in the winter, in January, a 5-week program. We're going into towards the last 3-4 weeks of our traveling team, so we're going to go into our winter session with that. Our technical skills camp we're offering, we just put up on our website to help kids develop their technical aspect of the game, and that's open to all age levels and all skill levels as well in the winter program. We're looking at adding another special needs program in the winter.
Okay.
Again, everything is up on our website. We're always accessible for calls. We're always looking to add more programs if we have the staff to support it, the atmosphere, and also the space. Because obviously here in Plainfield indoor is pretty hard to come to get when it comes to artificial turf. You have to use gyms, and all the gyms are taken care of. So it's finding space and being able to provide a program that will benefit those that are part of that. And we've been doing a pretty good job. Our goalkeeping academy is exploding as well too. So helping goalkeepers from even all their clubs that come and use our services to develop their skills. Everything is on our website, activities, events, clinics, camps, programs, it's all there.
Andreas, once again, thank you so much for hanging out with me and really sharing your story with us.
No, thanks for having me.
I'm sure the folks watching this will truly appreciate it. Yeah. If you would like to connect with Andreas and find out more about what he does, all you have to do is scroll down to the bottom of the page and you'll see all the different ways that you can get hold of him. And for those out there who would actually like to get the chance to share your story on this website, all you have to do is go to www.parkbench.com/Plainfield and click on the request interview icon, and we'll take it from there. I would also like to thank Casey, who is the owner of the Crema Coffee House right here in downtown Plainfield, for letting us use her facility.